I've recovered from brain surgery and heartbreak, and I can tell you from my experience, I think the heartbreak recovery was much harder. Story time. Hi, I'm Louise, and I am the founder of How to Hack Your Heartbreak, and I help people get over the pain of their breakups. First of all, there is a whole heap of you that are new here, so I just wanted to say welcome, and I am sorry that we met under these circumstances, but I'm so glad you're here. So going back about 6 years ago, I was having some migraine issues, and my doctor decided that I needed a brain scan just to check everything out. Now, they worked out that my migraines were caused by a pinched nerve in my back, but they came across something that they called an incidental finding. I always find that so funny, the incidental finding. Like, incidentally, I ran into Mabel at the shops. Incidentally, you have a brain aneurysm. So the MRI showed that I had an 8mm aneurysm in my brain right next to a 3mm aneurysm. And basically the doctors told me that it was unruptured at this point, but if it did rupture, it would most certainly result in my immediate, pretty much, death. So there wasn't a lot of options. I really had to have brain surgery, and I needed it quickly because it was a ticking time bomb. There was huge risk involved. I had to get my affairs in order. I had to write my will. I had to assign power of attorney. And it was made quite clear to me and to my kids and my family that after the operation, I might not be the person that they knew going in. Thankfully, I was one of the lucky ones. I am residing in Australia, and I know we've got people here from all over the world. And in Australia, we are lucky to have a free public health system. So I was operated on by one of the best neurosurgeons in Australia in the public system, completely for free. I was lucky enough after my recovery to have no deficits after that brain operation, and I thank my lucky stars for that every day. The only thing I'm left with, as you can see, is a little scar up here that goes right around here, and makeup doesn't cover that up, so you're probably going to see it on my videos. But what I was really appreciative of at the time is the level of support that I got going through that whole process. I had to check into hospital the night before, and I swear to God, all of these doctors walked into the room, and I thought, oh, is there a celebrity here and they've gone into the wrong room? No, they were all there for me. About 12 doctors answering my questions, taking my bloods, preparing me for the operation, and they could not have been more careful. Afterwards, I had around-the-clock nursing care, I had an occupational therapist, I had a physiotherapist, I had people assessing my cognitive function. I got sick of people asking me when my birthday was, but that's how I knew I was getting better. And after, in the recovery process, my family, my friends, people who I didn't know that well were so supportive of my healing journey and did things like cook and look after me and, don't lift that, Louise, it's too heavy. For months and months and months on end, I could not have had more support, and so super grateful for that. So it's fair to say that I've had my share of curveballs. And going back about a year, almost to the day, I had a breakup that really knocked me for six. At the time, I had a radio show that was all about health and wellness and fitness and how we view the world. And I absolutely loved every minute of it. And I had some amazing regulars that were on the show, psychologists and life coaches and nutritionists and naturopaths, you name it, they were there. And they became good friends, obviously, because we were interviewing each and every week. So before we went on air, they would ask the question, how are you doing? I trusted these people, and so I answered transparently. And the hacks and the tips and the tricks that they gave me from their area of expertise absolutely blew my mind and really helped me with my breakup recovery. Because it's not just about what's going on in here and our emotions. It's also about our nervous system, our body. All of that suffers when we're going through a breakup. And what I found on the whole is that because your injury is internal, nobody can see scars or anything physical on the outside of the body to remind them that you are going through a really hard time. People kind of forget after a couple of weeks. So sure, they might bring you the ice cream and the bottle of the wine and, listen to you stories in the first couple of weeks. But if it's a really good breakup, and you know what I mean, something that really turns your life upside down, The recovery is months and months and months in the process. So I came up with the idea of how to hack your heartbreak. First of all, to validate the fact that what you're going through is truly a life-changing event and it shouldn't be diminished. But secondly, I also wanted to share the tips and tricks that I've learnt from these professionals, things like nervous system regulation and how to get to the bottom of our emotions and how we process this going forward so that when we come out the other side, and yes, we will, I know it doesn't feel like that at the moment, we have a lot more knowledge, and knowledge is power, a lot more tools in our toolbox to help us emotionally regulate and hopefully a new lease on life going forward. Each and every day I'll be showing up for you, and it will be a combination of emotional hacks, physical hacks, nervous system regulation. We'll also delve into some attachment styles and how we actually show up in relationships, because there's a lot to learn there. And particularly if we're thinking about repartnering in the future, we want to come at that from a really healthy place. Maybe not make the same mistakes again, right? The link in my bio has lots of other goodies. So there is a podcast. Season 1 is complete and you can binge on that. Season 2 will be dropping in the next couple of weeks. I'm super excited for that. We have a whole range of amazing experts that are giving their 2 cents worth on how we can best support ourselves going through a breakup. I also have some mini courses on my website that are immediately downloadable. Heartbreak ICU is for those first few weeks coming out of a breakup where your nervous system is in an absolute mess, and things that we can do to sort that out. The next course is Relationship Rehab, Detox Your Ex, and how to get ourselves out of that pattern of constantly checking their social media, hanging on to the relationship, and how we can reprogram our brains to really pour into ourselves going forward. Once we're a little bit further down the track, there is the glow up. The glow up is looking at your own attachment style, looking at the black box of your relationship and seeing where we might be able to improve before we step out into the dating world again. And finally, the last course is Dating After Disaster, which is how we can show up properly after we've been, pretty knocked around by a breakup, and how we can trust again. I also do offer private coaching, and you can book a discovery call through the website. But most of all, I'm so happy that we have an amazing community here. I see you supporting each other in the comments and really cheering each other on. That's what this space is all about. Trolls and negative comments won't be tolerated and you will be blocked, but I know that we have some amazing community members here in the How to Hack Your Heartbreak family. I just wanted to welcome you. I'm Louise, and I look forward to walking this path with you.